Hi friends, Mrs. Rushton here. Today's art lesson is with positive and negative space. And we're going to be using that fancy paper we made yesterday to create the design. So let's go ahead and gather up the supplies we're going to need. All right, so I have my fancy paper that I made yesterday, scissors, pencil, and glue. Glue stick works great. Hopefully you got one of these in your packet from school when you went and picked up your supplies. Now for your second piece of paper, you're going to either need a piece of construction paper, colored construction paper if you have that at home, or just another piece of the same size of white paper. So I say the same size. Notice that when I lay my green construction paper down and my fancy paper over it, the green is bigger. So I would need to cut and trim my green to be the same size. But I'm just going to use my white background. So let's go ahead and get our fancy paper first. All right, so the first step, what I want you to do is to take your paper and to fold it in half. Totally up to you on which direction you go. You can go horizontally or vertically. I'm going to go horizontally. Fold my paper, line up my edges, hold it, and press, press. Now, I need to keep in mind where the fold of the paper is. Right here, my paper is closed. That is the fold. Over here, it's open, and you don't want to do the cuts over there or draw the lines over there. So now you need to think of a shape that you'd like to use. You can get as crazy as you want on this, but remember you're going to be doing some cutting here. So try to keep it a little under control. I really like a starburst or a star shape, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to start with a star shape, and I'm going to do my first shape kind of the biggest shape I'm going to do. So it's going to kind of come close to the edges. All right, so to make a point at the top, I'm going to bring my line down. Notice I'm starting on my folded side. And I'm just going to do kind of a crazy zigzag and then end with a point. Okay, so that's my first shape line. Now, all I have to do is to repeat this line, and I want you to repeat it 3 times, but giving yourself some space. So here I go. I'm going to come inside, and I'm just going to follow. Comes down, up, down. Notice I'm just kind of mimicking what I did the first time. Okay, that's 2 lines. I'm going to do my third line now. It's going to get a little bit smaller. That matches with that. That matches with that. That matches with that. And then it goes off. So it's not perfect replica. It's okay if it changes shape a little bit. Okay, so I'm done with my pencil. Now I need my scissors. And I'm going to very carefully start to cut this out. I think I'm going to start with the smallest one and work my way out. Make sure you stay on the line. If you come off of the line and you cut all this, it's going to be bad because we need to use most of this paper. So I'm going to work my way around cutting out on each of these lines very slowly. All right, there I've cut them out. Something I forgot to mention is that I made sure to squeeze my paper together and keep it folded while I cut it. So now let's do the big reveal and see what this looks like. All right, let's start with the little one. Whoa, that's nice. It almost looks like a leaf, doesn't it? And what's the next one? I'm going to kind of put this together a little bit like a puzzle. Open the next one. Oops, I think I did that one upside down. Good thing I have some colors to help me line it up. It's important to line this back up so you know where everything fits together. And then my last one. This is really cool, huh? Open it up. There we go. Cool, huh? Okay, the next step, step 3 really. So the first step was to draw, second step was to cut out on the fold. And now this next step, third step, is going to be to cut actually along that crease that we had folded. And you're going to keep this together kind of like a puzzle so you don't lose pieces. So very carefully cutting that in half on the fold. I'm going to have to put it back together up here. Okay, so now I have all of those cut in half and it's getting to be pretty crazy. So make sure you have some space that you're working with, but keep it organized. All right, I'm gonna slide that up. I'm gonna get my white piece of paper for my background. All right, so I'm gonna start the same way. I'm gonna take this piece of paper and I'm gonna fold it in half, the same direction I folded my first piece in half. So I fold that horizontally, fold it in half, walk your fingers, give it a press, give it a press. That creates a fold. That's a guideline. All right, so here comes the fun part. We are going to be taking and grabbing a piece from either side. So I'm going to start on the left side. I'm going to grab the furthest outside piece, and I'm just going to kind of line it up. Left side. Now I'm going to go to the right, and I'm not going to get the outside piece. I'm going to skip that. Okay, I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use the next one. And I'm going to try to line it up in the middle here. Okay, now I'm going to go to the left side and I'm not going to use the next piece. I'm going to skip it, go to the next one. We're getting smaller and smaller. And then our last one, I'm going to go back to the right side and I'm just going to use that very center piece right there. Okay, now, so if I have the outside on this side, the other side is white. Okay, it should be opposites. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to use my glue stick, making sure that I really get the edges, and I'm going to carefully, nice and neat, glue this down using the center point as a guide. There it is. Isn't it beautiful? This is such a neat and impactful project that's pretty easy to do. So when I'm looking at my paper, I've got lots of negative and positive space. Where you see all of that color, that's going to be my positive space. And where you see the white, that's going to be my negative space. Now, my big suggestion for you is to make sure and stay organized. You notice that it got a little confusing when I was starting to put it together. So keep it nice and organized like a puzzle and glue it down really well, especially on the edges. Okay, friends, good luck. Don't forget to take a picture and show me in your Google Classroom. Until next time.